Welcome to episode 19. The hair is growing, still haven't had a haircut. And life is fine. Been real busy. Probably gonna cover some political topics today. Probably gonna talk about some TikToks and things like that. But overall, I want to say things are going, I guess, pretty good. Even with the COVID thing, I guess that's the biggest, exciting thing that's happening right now. Although that's kind of not true, but let's say on a bigger scale, definitely that's the case. If it goes away completely, or I guess restrictions really, let's say, not disappear, but they really become very weak or not so serious, I think that's gonna be incredible. And I guess everyone's really hoping for that. But yeah, it kind of makes completely no sense right now if you actually look at these different countries and different parts of the world. In some places, they're literally in USA, they banned truck drivers that are not vaccinated. Hey, a truck driver is a guy that sits in the car alone or with his friend, partner, not a friend, co-worker actually. They're not socializing in the middle of a mall or something like that. They're literally not meeting any people. Why do they need a vaccine? So they banned those people from working, and then the supply chain is broken now. So there's no food and no most important items that are being sold in the malls or shops. And now it's a problem. So then how do they fix that? They propose to let teenage drivers drive these huge trucks, which is what's going on? How is that a solution? How does anything make sense? It's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, and I think in a funny, simple, stupid analogy, in the internet marketing world, there is this thing you can do affiliate marketing and you can earn commissions by selling someone else's product. And I literally feel like some of these countries or parts of governments, they're literally just stacking up their affiliate commissions on all of these pharmaceutical companies and the, I guess, mask sales and vaccine sales and all of that. It just makes no sense that one country or one state, take Florida, the last year they're just partying and living normal life and everything's fine. Explain that, and then some other places no, more lockdowns, take 7 booster shots. Yeah, whatever. Makes no sense. And make it make sense. That's how to say it. So yeah, that's that. What else? I want to say something else. Read some books. Actually, it's 21st of January. And by today, I should have had read 3 books, but I only finished 2, and I haven't even started the third one because I couldn't kind of find which ones I wanted and which ones I didn't. And I'm kind of a bit upset, but also I guess 2 books already is nice. My plan was to read at least 1 book per week, which I think is pretty solid. But it's hard because there's all these external additional projects and things that I'm busy with, and then I had a completely totally messed up upside down type of sleep schedule, which is slowly being fixed now, which is awesome. I'm really happy with that. And also I literally think I talked about this a couple of episodes ago, but I don't know, it's so insane how it is impossible to perform properly right here in front of the camera when the sleep schedule is off, and it's just nothing makes sense. Nothing works. There is no words that match and connect together. It's crazy. Just difficult madness. Yeah. So also one more thing, not one more thing, there's gonna be a lot more things because we're just starting out, but with the Russia thing, what they're doing right now on the borders of Ukraine, yeah, I hope it's gonna be a peaceful, good time, and somehow it can be solved. Although I guess at this point no one believes it, because if you check the news, it's UK is sending some bombing equipment, Canada is sending some grenade launchers, and someone sending troops, and Spain sending tanks or whatever that is. So very hot, crazy, like insane tension in that area right now. And a lot of political groups or communities, they're like pointing out that if the invasion, the war, these like tensions, they increase, escalate to like this shootings and like actual like invasion, I guess the world, not the world, some countries like China, they'll watch what's going on, and if the response is insanely strong, then probably nothing else is gonna happen. But if the response is gonna be like, yeah, whatever, then probably then China will also act and go and take like their neighbors basically, which is sad. And I don't know, it's just such a chaotic thing. Like if you actually look at what's going on in the world right now, like from the moment where there's just complete like chaos and madness in one part of the world, like in New York they're going crazy over these like vaccines, then in Florida everyone's just like peaceful and chilling, then on this part of the world there's like a war almost like starting, and in like let's say another part of the world there's like insane overpopulation, there's like madness, and they're like struggling to feed their own people, so they need to conquer extra land to expand their farms. Yeah, it's global politics are fun until you get really too much into it, and that completely messes you up. So definitely not a good thing to do. Yeah. Also, I saw this thing on TikTok. Basically, a new algorithm. Yeah, I'll just show the video.
Did anyone else plan on staying single after their toxic ex, but ended up finding their soulmate?
You might be wondering how many soulmates who made videos to this sound are still together 6 months later. Of the 500 most popular videos, I tracked the soulmates' relationships on Instagram. And what I found is a game changer. To track the relationships, I wrote some code and made an app called Rebound. Here it tracks in real time whether or not people are dating based on whether they follow each other. And to track a new relationship, all I need to do is put in their Instagram accounts and hit subscribe, and bingo, I'm now tracking whether they follow each other. And sometimes things don't work out, and they break up and unfollow each other, and I get a push notification. And minutes after they broke up, I would slide into their DMs. And nearly 30% of them responded to my DM. And nearly 40% of the relationships that were soulmates broke up within 24 weeks. Not only were most of them not soulmates, they were also already moving on, responding to DMs.
And as you can see, like this is very freaky and annoying, and I actually thought about this so much, and I feel like I don't have really like much to say about this video, except that I feel so disconnected when there is like the human interactions that are being taken to the tech world, where everything is like is input into the like the formula, the mathematical equation, or just like an coding type of element. Like that feels so dry and fake in a way. Like, yeah, I don't know, I can't this is why I would never do like any kind of online dating thing. I don't know, it just feels wrong on every possible level, even though I guess if you take it to like extreme levels, when you have like insane technologies, insane advancements, insane AI systems and all that, and they like can really match people together, I guess that's a good thing, or that can make sense. But also it takes things so far to the systemic world where everything is just like mathematically calculated, and it becomes too much of like order and black and white, like it's very like clear divisions, and there is no kind of like chance for, I don't know, something like happy or some luck or some like something unexpected to happen. And that's a really scary thing. Like I feel like that way life is going to be like more depressing, because like everything is just kind of so formulated, it's so like calculated that is just like it's kind of like a sad, I don't know, sad thing. So yeah, anyway, let me sip some water. In other news, I saw a ton of things where people are basically breaking things just for the views, and that made me so angry. Like, I get it, like I am on YouTube for like 2 months now or something like that, trying to understand the algorithms, things like that. It makes sense like how it works, and it totally like completely makes sense of like what types of videos make views, like they get some kind of like higher rates of like shares and some kind of viral effect, like they receive some kind of viral effect, but going so far as like breaking things just on purpose just to get views.
When your boyfriend doesn't give you attention.
I mean, yeah, like breaking a TV, I guess, but even that is like so shitty. I just cannot imagine like literally being inside the apartment and thinking like, let's break this thing, let's film that, and then having to deal with the broken TV and like all of this like mess afterwards, just for like one little video. It feels like such a... It doesn't matter how much the TV costs, but it feels like such a shitty thing to do. And I don't know how to explain the word shitty in this context in like a much better way, but it feels like a very low type of action, like a very degrading I don't know the word, but it's literally like deteriorating. God damn, it's so hard to speak. Like fucking brain damaging. That's literally the type of action that you can like, I would call it like breaking things to be like, oh shit, like yeah, this is viral and like this is like a cool thing. And then there's another guy I saw, he crashed his airplane for the views. Like, dude, like what? Like how horrible, like, and again, on one hand you can say, well, yeah, this is cool, kind of, you know, like no one has done it, so it's kind of like shocking, like it's like a crazier type of show, like it makes things more interesting. And I get it, yes, there is, I guess, some interesting elements to it, but ultimately it's such a low level type of creativity. Like breaking things is the easiest things ever. Like what's easier? Literally, is there anything easier than that? Like you can like get a glass and just throw it on the ground and it's broken. That can be a piece of a content. And like crashing an airplane is exactly the same like level of IQ type of action. You're just breaking the thing. Okay, it's more expensive, but you're still doing the same shit. And yeah, as I said, I get it. People do it for the views, so let them do it. It's fine. But I feel so bad for these people because it feels like so like desperate, like so desperate to be like, fuck, like I want to like, you know, be noticed, and I want to like do something, so I have to like shock the world. So I have this amazing innovative idea, let me like buy something expensive and crash it just for the views. And it's like okay, fucking sad. It's sad. Just get some therapy. That's sad. It's okay though, it's fine, dude. No judging, literally no judging, because everyone's different, you know. People, you know, like fucking very weird stuff. Yeah, that's the cool part. And then also, and this is another quick video that I want to get into. This is actually really cool. I think it's, or I don't know how to say it, but anti-work movement. Now, first of all, let's watch the TikTok that talks about this thing.
I don't want to work anymore. COVID has opened my eyes. I no longer want to get up in the morning, get in the car, swipe my ID card, and answer emails. I can't take it anymore. I just want to enjoy life while I'm healthy and full of energy. I want to see my friends, travel, read, and tend to my garden. Financially, I'm lucky. I can afford it.
There's no point in working at all.
If you're able to provide for your needs, right?
And no more. That's how we should live. Why do we need more? We'll stop polluting the earth.
So anti-work, anti like going to the office, things like that. And the thing is, on Reddit there's this community that is like insanely rapidly growing over the last year or two during the COVID times. People are, well, you know, I guess they're realizing more, but also there's one of these things that there is going to be another layer of society that is going to be kind of invisible, but they will have a very noticeable impact on the rest of the world after some period of time. And this is my kind of belief or prediction, which I can be completely wrong. So I guess it doesn't matter. I guess like nobody's going to take it serious anyway, right? So yeah, anyway. But the point is, people are really kind of pushing away from going to the office. They would prefer either to work remotely or not to work at all. Now, with the last group that decides not to work at all, that's a completely like different type of story. But first of all, yeah, actually, first thing, let me say that I think there is good in it because more people will be kind of aware of like life is more important than just having like more money and more of these like things and like wasting your time for having the ability to buy the shit that you don't kind of even need. Like I think that's an incredibly important thing. I just think overall people are gonna be like much happier with realizing that. So that's an amazing part. Now there's something else. Another part is that some people decide, well, yeah, like every type of any kind of work is bad and just like you should never work, and that's a disaster. And I think there is no problem there because these are very low amount of like a very little amount of people, and also, you know, if they decide they'll never work again, good for them. But how are they gonna actually like survive and pay their bills and things like that? So that's the kind of like funny, kind of tricky part. Okay, awesome. I just got a notification. We got 10% on the battery of the camera, and most likely it's gonna be turned off before this recording stops. Sad, should have charged the camera, but it's all good. So anyway, back to this anti-work thing. There's a big aspect there because a lot of people after the COVID times, they realize, holy shit, I can actually work from home. And these people, I guess, knew it long time like ago, like they knew that before. But during the COVID times, there is this realization and actual proof from the employer that like, yeah, you actually can do that, because our companies, like, you know, like before COVID we said no, you can't, but now because we're forced to allow you to work from home, we actually like let you. And then this whole, I guess, narrative breaks. So you actually are allowed, and you like it is possible for a company to keep you at home working. And this leads to another thing, which is one of the books that I recently read, Nomad Capitalist, where there's more push and more like this kind of becomes like a new dynamic or a new direction for like a huge chunk of population to just travel while working remotely. And just that thing by itself is extremely like rapidly growing. But then you add another group like anti-work movement, which is like very, very, I guess just the name in itself is very crazy already, because like everyone kind of like hates their job. Like that's a very common thing, which is fucking very sad by like to begin with. But that's like the overall, in general, population. Like most people are like that. It's unfortunate, but like that's how it is. So masses or anyone from the masses, when they would see a name anti-work, it's like, ooh, what is that? Like immediately aligned. So it's very like enticing and like beautiful, like something that you're aligned with and you can relate to it very fast. So that's cool. That's why, or maybe like one of the reasons why it like grows so fast and becomes so trendy, but also it makes a lot of sense. And then my point here is that these two huge communities, the nomad and the anti-work, they merge and like combine very well. And the thing is, when huge amounts of people will start traveling and moving around and staying in one country, another country, another country, I just assume that it can lead to a ton more like small shifts into like the cultures and how they're going to be impacted, because in general people that are like nomads traveling, they're not really traveling as like they're away from their work and they're going somewhere to just like really be happy and kind of like enjoy their life. They're still going there to work, but they're kind of living there, but for like 3 months, 6 months, or a year. And this is kind of like a very weird type of citizen, because they're not a tourist that's like there for a week or 2 weeks. They're kind of living there for a somewhat long time, but they're not like really living there. And I guess I'm not gonna go like very, very deep with this, but again, I'm just saying it can definitely have an impact on the local smaller communities. If you have, let's say, like a little city or something like that, and a lot of nomad people come there, they will change the culture, because they're gonna be like this weird kind of group of people that are obviously also like they're trying to merge in to the community for, let's say, these 6 months that they're staying. And they will try to date, they'll try to like go to some like sports events, network, meet locals, do business with them. So it has an impact. That's the whole point. And is it good or bad? I don't know. But there's also, this is what's it called, speculation, meaning I don't really know what I'm saying, but I just assume. But I think there's going to be a literal trendy direction towards this kind of thing overall, because it is really convenient and it is amazingly cool. Like this is like a perfect formula. I literally, well, I was discussing with one of my friends about like 3 or 4 years ago, is that if you can earn your money from the Western countries and you can live somewhere like in like a very cheap type of like, you know, third world countries, you can say, where everything is like absurdly cheap, it's literally a paradise. You're hacking the system because you're making like the most amount of money and you're having like the minimum expenses and you're having like the most luxurious type of lifestyle, which is why like everyone wants that. And I think there's good in it also, because people bring money to a poor economy, which is great. Anyway, doesn't matter. Not something really that I want to like deeply discuss, but yeah, I think it's just an overall interesting thing. Now, one more thing. Let me see what else I want to say. Actually, god damn it, I cannot check the time, how much energy fucking battery I have in the camera. But I think it's gonna die in like a couple of minutes. Anyway, so that's that. It's good stuff. I definitely should continue recording these a lot more often. And one thing I wanted to add about this anti-work movement. If you notice, and if you paid attention in these last videos when I said how can you create a cult or this kind of like social movement, anti-work is a new social movement. Look at the patterns. It's masses, like a huge groups of people, and they have a problem. What is the problem? Is hating their job. What does the anti-work community does to them? They're saying like, yeah, you should hate your job. It is like bad. You should be against your job. You should be paid more and work less. You should work remotely. You should like do all of that. So they're providing emotional like reinforcement and support. So people are like gathering there, because like that's exactly what these people want to hear. And then what's going to be the next movement, like what's not movement, but what's going to be their like call to action, or like call to like, we're setting this direction. That's going to be the interesting thing to notice. And realistically, this can be literally like someone just was so pissed and they're like, listen, I'm so against that, I'm starting this anti-work movement. Literally just like for me and my friends, and that thing grew. Or this is literally constructed to create some kind of layers or shifts in the society in general. Very hard to say which one it is. Obviously, I don't know. But again, like any other social movement, like any other fucking group that you want to create, like that's literally how it's done. And this is, as I said, this is one of them, and this is like a very, very, very new one. So that's really cool. We got 8:27. I believe it's about 25 minutes recording. You know what? Let me finish